Alright, here we go. I got a couple of balls going to be coming out pretty soon with the reviews for those. In the meantime, putting together this video, how to put together a DV8 only arsenal and what to expect and when you put it together. So as we look at them here, let's take a look.
Okay, we got the full DV8 arsenal, 6-ball arsenal. We got the Diamond Diva by DV8. It's a hybrid symmetrical, damn good Verge Pearl, Pearl symmetrical, and the new Verge Solid, Solid symmetrical. And in the other bag we got the Medusa, the DV8 Medusa, that is a Pearl asymmetrical. The DV8 Collision, that is a hybrid asymmetrical. And the DV8 Hellcat is a solid asymmetrical. So there you go, you got 3 symmetricals and 3 asymmetricals for a 6-ball arsenal. And we're going to go over all these and give some comparisons, so let's get it on. Okay, Boom fans, here we go. We're going to start off with a couple of the more aggressive bowling balls here, starting with the DV8 Hellcat. Layout's 55 by 4.5 by 40. I put all the layouts on all the balls whenever I throw them so you can kind of see that. And I'm also going to put little markers down for the path of the ball. Now, I bowled about 5 games on this one lane, so I opened it up. But you'll see as I switch balls to go to weaker, I still stay somewhat in the same area. But starting off with the DV8 Hellcat here, solid asymmetrical. There's the markers. I hope you guys can see that good. Trying something new there, just to kind of illustrate the path that the ball takes. It may be standing in the same direction, but it don't always take the same path. And I hope you guys don't make fun of my inability to be perfectly accurate every time. I do have a normal day job like that one right there is inside really bad, and as you can see, and tripped the 4, I got lucky. But anyway, so DV8 Hellcat, solid symmetrical. I've done reviews on all these bowling balls. What you're gonna get out of this bowling ball is a solid ASIM that stores energy better than any other solid ASIM I've seen. The new Track Legion does pretty good, but this one here really stores energy. It is very versatile. You can play anywhere on the lane with it, but the biggest portion of its movement is down lane. I mean, if the lanes are burnt up, you know, you might see it read a little earlier than that. This ball also has a lot of lane shine on it, so it's not fresh surface, you know. And so the next we're going to switch right over to the Verge Solid. This Verge Solid's a hooker. I've got that at 4,000 finish, so it's shiny, and it just took basically the same path as the Hellcat with all the lane shine on it, so that's pretty close. I wasn't sure which ball was more overall hook. For me it's pretty close, which is surprising, you know, a sim versus an ASIM. See that ball there, I got out into the dry a little bit earlier and it responded off the friction a little bit more than I would have wanted to. Got a shot here, it's a little blurry. I left it in here though because it's, you know, pretty good shot right at the break point. And I don't move these markers the entire video, so you'll be able to see these markers never move. I switch balls, the lane starts drying up, and I'm still staying in the same general area with each ball, except for toward the end, which I'll get to when we get to that point. But anyway, back to the Hellcat here. Right there, perfect shot, that's what I'm aiming at. So Hellcat's for heavy oil, medium to heavy oil, or heavy oil. And so is this Verge Solid. Now if I'm going to tournaments or traveling somewhere that I don't know, some of this stuff I'll change the surface on. This is just the surfaces that I would take to league at a house pattern. And this is what this is on, a fresh house pattern, or was fresh at the beginning anyway. So in order to get use out of them and have fun playing with them, I make the surfaces in a way that I can get more use out of them. Like this Verge Solid, if I were to leave the box surface on this, I wouldn't really be able to throw it and league because it's just too much much too early. But it does read earlier, starts rolling earlier than the Hellcat, but you just don't see it really much in the shape. The shape is pretty close, which was a little surprising to me, but I'm sure that has something to do with the lane shine on the Hellcat, and then the 4000 finish on there. And there's the Medusa. Some of you guys have asked me to do a review on the Medusa. I never got around to it. I apologize, but I do have it in this video here so you can see it with that 55 by 4.5 by 55 layout on it, pearl asymmetrical. That last number being 55 makes the breakpoint a little slower off the breakpoint. You see, I've moved left a little bit with that ball, but it doesn't make the big booming back end like you've seen some of the first two balls do. And it's not always a bad thing. You don't always want a ball to go crazy left on the back. Sometimes this higher number on the back end like that to keep it slower off the breakpoint is what I want. It's pretty close. See, I got it to that same breakpoint as I had the other one after the lanes opened up, and it barely got there. You can see the difference there. Now, if you change the numbers, change the layout on this Medusa, you'll see more pop on the back end. Take that 55 on the back number there and change that to like 35. You'll see a drastic change on the back end. A lot more pop. But I wanted this ball for this. This ball's coming in handy in a lot of tournaments early on where I didn't need the ball to change the direction very much down lane. I just needed it to roll into the pocket, and this worked out really well for me several times. The Deuce is a great ball. I would say it's medium to medium heavy oil as far as what it's recommended for. Just my take on it. It's got plenty of teeth, but it's not overly strong. It will get through the heads nice and clean. So, but anyway, that's the Medusa. Yeah, I ended up just kind of tightening up my line. In order to get the 10 out, I ended up just tightening up my line. Because that back end's just rolly. In order to get the corner out, I had to tighten it up. But see, that's inside, and then it strikes inside of the target. Or inside of the original target, of course, for the Hellcat and the Verge Solid. Yep, inside, dead flush. It just keeps everything a little tighter. Like I said, sometimes you'll want that, Now on to the Collision. 60 by 4.25 by 35. Tell you what, I really love this ball. This is probably my favorite DV8 ball since I've been throwing DV8. It is come into play where I don't have a good look. I pull this ball out, and it saved my ass, for lack of better words, it saved my ass several times. So this is for sure my favorite. It's a little bit inside too than the earlier ones, but keep in mind too, it's still fairly aggressive ball, and the lanes are starting to open up. But you can still see the angle changes. It's not as much down lane as the Hellcat or the Verge, but it is less down or more down lane than the Medusa because of the layout. That's only because of the layout. Here's the Diamond Diva. I threw that horrible, way outside of target, but this ball is weaker than the other ones I've thrown. So this is the next step down for me from the Collision. So I was able to move back right and get closer to my original line. Now that I've opened the lane up, I would be with the Hellcat. I would probably be 7 boards, six boards or so left from where I'm at right now, ish. And then I'm able to go to the Diva and move right back to where I started. This is a hybrid symmetrical. Pleasantly surprised with this ball. I was trying to get that back number of 25. I was trying to get to pop off the break point a little more, and it just don't. But it works out. Like the ball just strikes. It just strikes a lot. It just rolls into the pocket nice and heavy and goes through the pin. Well, I threw it terrible. Anyway, and then of course the last one we're going to talk about, the damn good Verge Pearl. For a ball when the lanes open up, or if you don't have a lot of speed and you need a ball not to overreact, this is it. Look how much further right I am with this ball, even 5 games in. And it's weak. It'll get through the fronts and all that, but it still drives through the pins. It has power to get through the pins. It's not weak in the sense that it's not being able to get through the pins. So like I said, as I'm still on this pair, 5 games in, I've opened the lane up, but yet I'm farther right than I was at the beginning with the Hellcat. So this is a pearl symmetrical, and it is perfect for late in tournaments, things like that. More of the place you bowl. It just has a ton of friction, you know, and you're tired of playing in deep. I mean, you can still get deep with this, I'm sure, but this definitely gives you a lot tamer look whenever the lanes are just fried. So anyway, yeah, I've got some more ball reviews coming out. We're going to be having those out pretty soon. I'll be looking out for those. Thanks again for all of the new subscribers, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'm going to try to come up with some more ideas and things I can put together for you guys. So, boom out.